Hi there, my name is Fix Fox and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the F-Heroes edition and today we are onto the Price of Loyalty campaign, scenario either 3 or 4. We are of course going to let the dice roll decide what we're going to do. Any scenarios that we do not complete because we have to choose either one or the other, we will go back by the end of the campaign. But for now, we have a choice before us. Let's dive into the intro to see whether we play scenario 3, the Wayward Son, or scenario 4, Crazy Uncle Ivan.
King Jarconis III, grandson of Athenia, lay on his deathbed and pondered the fate of his weak struggle with its enemies had taken a heavy toll. He knew that if the kingdom were to again prosper, it would need aid from distant relatives. The final choice he had to make was this: send help to recruit crazy Uncle Ivan the warmonger and his barbarian clan, or send a search party out to look for the family's wayward son Joseph, a wizard of some repute.
Very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to assume that this is one of those times where we have our choice, and the choice that we make is going to impact whatever award we have that we will take with us throughout the rest of this campaign. It sounds like Crazy Uncle Ivan, if we choose scenario 4, is probably going to be allied with the barbarians, and so maybe we're going to get some troops, we're going to get some natural inclination to where we will be barbarians moving forward. Or if we go after the Wayward Son, Joseph, being that he is a wizard, perhaps that means that we're going to be more of a spell castery type of faction. Perhaps we're going to lean into the wizards more often than the barbarians. Either way, I couldn't possibly pick between these two, so I'm going to let the dice decide. We're going to do it like this. It's going to be a 1, 2, or 3 will be Joseph. A 4, 5, or 6 will be Crazy Uncle Ivan. Dice roll will tell us what we were going to do. That's going to be a 4. That will be Crazy Uncle Ivan. So our difficulty is on hard. We do have one more choice to make after I read this intro. Rescue Crazy Uncle Ivan. Find him before the first day of the 4th month, or it will be of no help to your kingdom. We do have the choices between basic logistics on our main hero, basic scouting, or having the power axe, which is the +2 to attack. 1 or 2 is basic logistics, 3 or 4 is scouting, and a 5 or 6 is going to be the power axe. Let's see what the dice indicate for us to do here. A 3. Gotta tell you, scouting is probably my least favorite here out of all these choices, and especially when I'm seeing this 4th month. This is going to be a 4-month scenario. Wow. An extra 10% movement over 4 months would absolutely be pretty important. As it is, let's take the scouting. We know our difficulty is on hard. Folks, let's get locked and loaded. Let's dive right in. Your advanced scouts come back riding... Your advanced scouts come riding back to you with the following news. They believe they have found signs that Uncle Ivan was in this general area and that he made his way to the north many months ago. Also, they say there's a town nearby and many resources to the east. So it sounds like to the east, we're going to be able to find something good for us. And then on this large map, somewhere in the north, whether it's to the northwest or the northeast, we're going to find Uncle Ivan. One request has been made, and I'm going to follow through and just kind of see how this goes on the audio recording. For our audio, I'm going to kick the music up from a 2 to a 4. The request has been that the music get just a little bit louder, and I would love to just give that a shot, see how that goes. Very interesting. So we have THUNDAX the Barbarian, we have the Scouting, we have the Advanced Pathfinding. So he is a Barbarian, but he starts off with Swordsmen and Archers. I'll tell you, in these amount of troops, I would much rather have, say, 15 swordsmen than 15 ogre lords. I would rather have 15 archers as opposed to 15 orc chieftains, so it's not an unwelcome sight. I see no reason not to follow along this road here. We got a trading post, we have a windmill, it looks like this is our town. Wow, that is a warlock town though, if I am not mistaken. That's a little bit interesting. We're going to split our troops in half and then into thirds here. I don't have a spell book, so there's no reason to stack troops and then get like a buffing spell or a defensive type of spell. This just allows me to have some more flexibility as I'm attacking this town. But let's attack Borderlands. Looks like we're going to lose some troops. Let's see how much better we can do. 5 and 3, that seems like a lot. There are 31 whole centaurs. That's a ton of centaurs. That's very unfortunate. And in fact, because I know that these swordsmen can get over to this gargoyle fairly quickly, I think I'm going to send this swordsman across the battlefield as quickly as possible. So that way he can deal with those centaurs. I kind of dislike that decision from the centaurs attacking my swordsmen. You've got troops that can beat you now. Either way, I'm happy as the player to still have 7 of these archers. I think that's going to be really nice for me. Somehow, I feel like this is already going to turn out better than the AI otherwise would. Centaurs are going to go now. There's 2 swordsmen lost. How did we lose so many stacks of archers? That's incredible. That's incredible. I'm so confused. Did the AI? Yeah, for me, did the AI say, oh, well, we have the superior ranged attack, and so the AI wanted to stay back into a defensive position and didn't push the swordsman across the battlefield? Did it think that the archers were not worth as much as the swordsmen? Very interesting. I don't know what to make of that, but I think I'd rather lose the 2 swordsmen as opposed to, what, 10 or more archers. Okay, but we do have this town here now. I'm going to click on it to see if we want to hop in here or not. It is a warlock town. I see no reason that we should not upgrade this town to a castle. Because this is going to be our base of operations, that just seems like the absolute best thing we could do. And then perhaps the second best thing we could do is take, well, we're already 1 step outside of our town. Maybe we pick up a new hero. Harry the Warlock, Jojosh the Barbarian. Do you want someone with the advanced pathfinding or somebody with the scouting and the wisdom? Offhand, I'm thinking to myself that generally my first hero is my starting hero, right? Because, hey, especially when they start off with basic scouting, well, clearly this is my better hero, but is he really, though? Is he really? I think that this is an opportunity for me to go with Aerie, who already has a spell book, already will have a predisposition to magic. I think this is a matter of preference. Some people have noted that I prefer spells highly. Steeson, I'm talking to you. And I think I see no reason to deviate from that now at this time. I do want a second hero, and I'm actually going to make Aerie my primary hero. THUNDAX is going to do very, very well with his advanced pathfinding. But I think that I can use, maybe I see desert here. I think maybe THUNDAX can just be my secondary hero who goes off into the desert to keep my logistics intact. Keep those in a good way. It will be his job. It will be THUNDAX's job to just logistically move across the map. And that just means that, hey, he starts off with basic scouting as a scout. Not too bad. Okay. With that being said, do we go along this road or do we go here to the left? I'm thinking that we should follow the road down as far as we can possibly go. I'm very glad for that decision. We'll pick up the windmill eventually, but for now, let's see this observation tower. Oh my word. Worth noting, we upgraded our town to a castle. There goes all of our ore and all of our wood. We have 0 wood, 0 ore, 5 mercury, basically 5 of all the precious resources. And with the purchase of Aerie, we now have no more gold. So this sawmill, this ore mine, those are pretty important. Let's head that way right now and move on to day 3. Might as well just have THUNDAX pick up, wow, here in the desert, some very free, you know, an alchemist lab, a gem mine. And when I see these precious resource generating type of adventure map objects, I think to myself, well, I probably made the right decision. That means that I have the opportunity to go into a mage guild. And so with that, I think that I might as well try and use Aerie because spells can be very, very valuable, especially if there's overwhelming odds. There are 4 months in this scenario before I run out of time. That is plenty of time to build up an incredibly sizable force. Say that I get black dragons within the first, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That'll be several weeks worth of growth from the black dragons. And that could be a tremendous army regardless of what spells I have. It'll be interesting. It'll be difficult to say. I'm going to see what the AI does here. By blocking off this kind of entrance here, are these dwarves going to try and go around or are they going to go through? This is just for me, just to kind of test and see where things are at. They do go around. I feel bad that I found something of an exploit. We're going to avoid using that as much as possible, unless it's the difference between winning and losing. Recently, we did play a scenario that was not through the Price of Loyalty expansion. I just kind of took a little bit of a detour, and I played the Who Am I scenario, and it was really a fun exercise. I'd never really played that scenario prior, and really, I enjoyed so very, very thoroughly kind of testing my mettle, seeing if my general standard of practice in the way that I play through these scenarios, if it holds up, and it feels like it did. It feels like it went really, really well. We did ultimately lose, and if I had had the opportunity to use some exploits in that final battle that I did eventually lose, oh, I absolutely would have. Don't kid yourself. Goal number one is win at all costs. So we must have honor. Absolutely. Have honor. And for example, when we say we're not going to use Dimension Door, we're not going to use Town Portal, yes, we absolutely are going to stick with that, because our honor and our children's honor is on the line here. But otherwise, win at all costs. That does not seem like a terrible standard for me. Okay. We are generating gold, albeit very slowly. This gold mine is so nice. And I know that we're kind of going to meet up in this general area together a little bit, but it can't be helped. I don't want to purchase any buildings here right now. I'm just going to save my gold. What are these ghosts guarding? What is that artifact? I cannot tell what that artifact is, and I don't know if it's worth it to fight a pack of ghosts in order to find out. That is such a very scary proposition. Ooh, another observation tower. Excellent. Okay, it looks like we're just about running our course here on this end of the map, but at least we're getting somewhere. We're getting some good information. Very happy for that. Starting next turn, we will be getting 2,000 gold per day, and we should pick up plenty of ore so we can get our gargoyles. I don't know if we're going to be able to get our minotaurs or if we're going to be able to get our hydras this week. Definitely not the hydras because they cost 10 sulfur, and I know I haven't found any sulfur. Otherwise, I'm just not sure. An early gazebo. This will be an extra level. Even though it takes my secondary hero THUNDAX out of the way, I'm still going to pick that up. He may yet prove useful. Pack of Cyclops guarding these stone liths. This is a different set of stone liths than you see hidden behind this aqua barrier. There's a Xanadu, tree house, and I saw a tree fort somewhere, didn't I? No, perhaps not. I guess oh, here's Tree City, tree house, halflings. So there are some low-level unit dwellings around, another Tree City. Maybe THUNDAX or a secondary hero, maybe that's really going to be a nice thing for them. This hill fort won't help any of my Warlock troops, but maybe if I find another town, I'll keep that in mind there. Hut of the Magi. I'm always intrigued. What is there with the Hut of the Magi? And then look at this, another gold mine? If I can get that other gold mine, I'll be feeling pretty good. I do not think that this is a gap. I don't think that by defeating a pack of ghosts, you get an artifact and you get access to this other lands. I think you're going to have to go around in a big, big way. This is actually making me rethink things, by the way. Look at all of this desert. With all of this desert, I think that we actually immediately reverse course and we let THUNDAX be our primary hero again because he's got the advanced pathfinding. There's a chance that Aerie will get the advanced pathfinding, but there is no guarantee. There's no guarantee whatsoever. And I think that the movement and the logistics in that instance, because there's going to be terrain everywhere that we have to deal with, I think that that's going to be worth our time the most. So I'm actually going to leave Aerie to be my secondary hero, and his job is just to go back this way. It's going to take him quite some time. Yeah, it's going to be a minute. 10 gems. It's day 6 now. I will have 8 gems tomorrow. That's not going to be enough to get the maze. I'm not going to have a marketplace, so I'm not going to be able to trade. Tell you what, let's get the statue and then the crypt, and that'll be a fairly good first week. That'll be a fairly good first week. Let's see, archery or scouting. I have a Warlock town. I don't anticipate I'm going to get many more shooters. Archery is a good skill, but I think that dragons griffins, gargoyles, they are going to fly right over any town, and so I'm not going to have any penalty there. And then I only start off with one ranged creature. And so with that being said, let's see, should we run into sprites? Should we run into Minotaur Kings? Minotaur Kings look like they're a tougher fight than I want to deal with right now. Ghosts, definitely not with any lower tier creatures. Maybe if I have just dragons in my army, I'll go for them. Otherwise, let's go back for these sprites. Worth noting, I kind of buried the lead here. What are these phoenixes doing in the desert? That's... it's a little interesting. It's a little interesting. I'm not too sure. Okay. I said I'd get this windmill, and I unfortunately was incorrect. And I'm very sad for that. But all the same, we are going to get this windmill probably next turn, and then we're going to get Airy up this way as quickly as possible. Actually, now that I think about what else is THUNDAX going to do with himself? Really, I think that this is the way that all my heroes are going, and that actually makes me happy because that means I cleared out in this direction, and that looks to have been the best decision I could have made. And that does make me pretty darn happy. A horde of sprites. Oh my word, a horde. That's a lot of sprites. I mean, I can beat them. But this is not a gimme. That's not a gimme. Tell you what, though, I'm about to get to the point where I'm not going to want to have the mixed troops. Having Knight faction troops and the Warlock troops, if I lose the archers and if I lose some of the swordsmen, that's not going to hurt my feelings too bad. I do want to see if I can protect some of these... What are they? Some of these centaurs? It looks like I'm not going to be able to really, but we'll try. That's actually exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. Just take the archers. I don't even want them. They're all yours. Yes, yes. Yeah, I see a horde of any type of creature and I think, oh no, that's scary. I see sprites and I think, oh, sprites are actually a little tough to deal with because sprites have no retaliation. They could be pretty tricky. But when it comes right down to it, that didn't seem too tough of a fight upon second glance. We're going to take the experience here. We're going to take the logistics, especially paired with the advanced pathfinding. I think that that's going to be excellent. I am going to take the gold here. I know that taking the 500 experience would be another level. I'm not going to worry about it right now. And then let's see. We are just one gem away from getting the maze. Let's get the Mage Guild right now. What spells will THUNDAX have? He'll have a magic arrow, he'll have a stone skin, and a bless. That's actually not too bad. That's a... Is there something I would rather have in a level 1 Mage Guild? I would like to see either a cure or a dispel, probably in exchange for the stone skin. But especially for a barbarian, that's excellent. The stone skin fills your hole that you have in your defense. You got high attack skill, and then that increases your defense. The bless, yeah, this is a great mage guild, especially again for a barbarian who's going to pretend like he is super smart, when instead he just hits you really, really hard with his club. So I think that this is potentially an opportunity. Do I want to pick up either halflings or the sprites? I just mentioned that mixing troops, I'm trying to get rid of these troops a little bit. I think that you're going to get so many good shooters or good flyers that it's really tough to just ignore. The only problem is your morale is going to go down to a -1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the sprites, and then I'm going to pick up this treasure chest. I'm going to step here on the halfling hole. I'm not going to accept them. I'm going to go to the treehouse. I'm not going to accept them. And then that way the game is kind of keeping track, like, okay, there's 28 in there. There's however many there. And this actually is a huge help. With the basic leadership, I feel very comfortable taking... 40 sprites and these halflings. And that is a pretty good army. That's really a pretty tough army, all things considered. One thing I kind of forgot is that there's this trading post here. That might prove very valuable. Very valuable. Knowing that THUNDAX is my primary hero, I'm not going to get the level 2 Mage Guild. I'm just going to get the troops. Who are these Minotaurs going to replace? In his army? Nobody, because the halflings are going to go right there, and I'd like to have the flyers. So I'm actually going to not get the Minotaurs right now. I'm going to get the dungeon. That seems pretty good to me. Get the additional gold generation. And we're kind of moving in a fairly... This feels like a fairly forward direction here. I don't think that I'm getting bogged down. I'm aware that we do have a time limit, but I'm trying to be purposeful with my turns, but also trying to be quick. We may end up doing, because I'm seeing this stone liths, we may get to the point where we find the aqua barrier, we find these stone liths, and maybe they're further down our path. Maybe they're somewhere in the big wide unknown. And until that time, we're going to have to ferry troops from the back to the front with one specific runner type of hero until we are able to get those stone liths operational. That's what I'm hoping for, but there's no guarantee. Otherwise, we're just going to have to be mindful, maybe take whatever troops we can, even if it costs us a week of growth for one other creature. We'll take as many of these gargoyles as we can. We're going to leave the griffins, leave the minotaurs, and off we go. No sense in staying overnight, but let's pick up that spell book. Wait, did I actually get it? I did not, because I'm out of gold. Well, that answers that question. Okay, so we're just going to wait one more night, and that'll let us pick up the spellbook here, and then these last two gargoyles, and on we go. We are tripping over ourselves just a little bit here with Airy. He's just a little bit in the way. Not much we can do about that at the moment, though. I'd really like to find some sulfur and some crystal. I had immediately said, oh, let's go for a magic hero like Airy, because I saw those two immediate precious resource generating items. That might take us a little too long to get. It really might. I do see some traveler's boots here guarded by these orc chieftains. If we can get that on THUNDAX, we're going to be rolling, and we're going to head that way as soon as we possibly can. Let's clean out both of these troops, though. Let's first go for these ogre lords, and then we'll go for the war trolls. I'm more concerned about the war trolls than I am about the ogre lords, especially since I have so many shooters. What? 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 I believe you. I'm just very confused. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I go right here... Interesting. The ogre lords are kind of going in that direction. Are they going towards the halflings, or are they going for the gargoyles? I don't know the answer. Let's see. My best option here is not to bless the centaurs. It is to bless the halflings. They do 1 to 3 damage. They're gonna get hit hard sooner rather than later. But I am going to end up blessing my halflings, and we are going to shoot this bottom stack of ogre lords that can get down the battlefield the quickest. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't attack without being retaliated against. There goes my morale. We do have the +1 leadership, but we still have poor morale because we got so many different troop types. That was supposed to be calculated, and it hasn't actually hurt us so far, but I'm very, very well aware that that is less than ideal. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can go right here. Okay, and it looks like they're just trying to get down the battlefield here. Oh, my bless only lasts for 1 turn. I forgot about that. Yeah, you know what? Ogre Lords are tough. They're an excellent unit with 60 hit points each. There's a lot of meat that you've got to chew through to really hurt these guys. And they are going to be just as fast or faster than most of my other troops. I am going to potentially sacrifice these halflings. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I move the swordsman down and the halflings up, we'll save 1 extra turn from the halflings. It's not necessarily going to be the biggest thing we've ever seen, but it'll be something. Funny enough, my highest defense troop is my swordsman. And there are 13 of them, so they're also my best offensive troop. But I've only got the 1 spell power. I think I'm going to use those last 2 stone skins on these swordsmen as we get into the fray. But for now, we're going to avoid the fight 1 more time. And that gives our centaurs, anyway, 1 more chance to get out there and do some damage. This stack of ogre lords gets to go next. I think that we just take this swipe with our sprites, knowing that we're going to take some damage. But we do it anyway. The gargoyles are going to go next turn, so we're going to stone skin next turn, not this turn. Otherwise, let's start this fight here. Yeah, we're killing 2, but we're losing 1. It's not great, but it's about what we get. I can do anywhere between 33 to 100 damage with these halflings because their damage range is so huge. Between 1 to 3 damage, that's huge for a level 1 creature. And so it's hard to say, should I just hope that I get this one Ogre Lord? It's tough to say. It's tough to say. Let's see if we can do as much damage as possible. There's an enemy right in your face. And because they did 90 damage, I feel very vindicated that we saved all those extra bits of spell points. Let's do, or not spell points, those damage points that we could have failed to really capitalize on. I got busy talking, and my plan to stone skin my swordsman did not come to fruition. Don't ask me why, but somehow when I get talking, it's bad for me. It's bad for me. I shouldn't do it. That's interesting. These Ogre Lords are not going to be able to get to these halflings. So these Ogre Lords choosing not to engage with those halflings is gigantic. That's huge. Maybe I can kill this one Ogre Lord. I do not. I think that we've actually got this fight. I think that this fight is winnable. I think it's very winnable. I'm taking some losses, but I think that this fight is very winnable. So my ranged troops are going to attack their biggest stacks. Oh, what do you think? Should I? Let's see. Their stack of 8 Ogre Lords is going to go before my stack of 9 here. 38 hit points and 20 hit points on these single stacks. I think that I actually do stone skin my gargoyles, who are already pretty tanky anyway. I stone skin them so that way they can take this retaliation shot from these Ogre Lords, and then I can pile on the damage from all my other creatures. I think that's what we do, except for the Centaurs. I just want to kill that one single stack. Aha. I'm actually okay with that. Remember, we have negative morale right now because we're mixing troops. Now that I only have 6 halflings, these halflings have done their job. They were free halflings in the first place. By taking that round of retaliation, they have freed up a lot of my other tactical possibilities. And so I'm going to probably get rid of them before I fight those war trolls on this battlefield. But they have done their job, and I am happy for it. Okay, alrighty. At this point, the battle is won. There's no issues. There's no additional tactical maneuvers to make. But of course, we go from a loss into a win. It does cost us. The one thing I'm kind of really sore about is these 15 swordsmen. That's a pretty good troop. I kind of wanted to keep those numbers around. I think I will have 8 of those swordsmen left over. And then 5 gargoyles. That's a little tough to swallow as well. We're not taking navigation. I don't think that this is going to be a water-based map. Let's take the ballistics. Always a good choice. Always a good choice. Okay. We don't actually have to dismiss those halflings, by the way. We're just going to move them on over here. And that'll actually let us split our stacks of flyers. This army I don't think is big enough to beat a pack of war trolls. I do not think it is. Now that I'm looking at it, I am not feeling very confident. What troops do I have at home? I've got the griffins, another stack of flying creatures. I think that's probably my best bet. So let's plan on doing that, and let's plan on doing that very quickly. I need sulfur. I need sulfur so bad. I need sulfur so bad. With that being said, I'm far enough away from sulfur, we might as well get this level 2 mage guild. Let's actually get THUNDAX back. Let's have him pick up this disrupting ray, the cold ray, lightning bolt. Really bad for a hero that I don't plan on being spell power reliant. But hey, we can't always get a bless. Let's have THUNDAX head this way, and he's actually going to spend the night. He probably won't spend the night. He'll have enough for one spell anyway. It'll be all right. And then let's pick up some gold with Aerie. Definitely pick up some gold with Aerie. It's day 6. We'll pick up this magic garden before the new week. Let's do that now. That's plus 5 gems. That's excellent. And then let's get this ore pit now and this observation tower just to see what we're up against. This will help us plan the next couple of moves. Yeah, flyers are going to be important because there's 2 groups of shooters. I'm not worried about the nomads. I'm not worried about the rogues. These phoenixes vex me. I am vexed by their presence. It feels like they're taunting me, and I'm not sure what to do about them. Let's pick up the marketplace now. Let's pick up the waterfall. Extra 8 centaurs. I like centaurs. I've mentioned in previous playthroughs that as far as all of the different horde buildings, all of the different buildings you can pick up in a town to pick up an additional 8 level 1 creatures. The Waterfall and the Centaurs are probably my favorite. Steeson has added to his fantastic, wonderful spreadsheet that has a lot of excellent information. I'm actually going to start including the link to that in my videos with his permission. So Steeson, I'll be talking to you about that later. But it's a great bit of information, and one of the most gold efficient units actually is the Centaur. A level 1 creature with 5 hit points for the low cost of 60 gold. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So just some things to think about. Centaurs with a knight-based hero would be excellent, since they already kind of spec into a lot of defense here. I'm not going to make any other purchases unless I'm going to get the Minotaurs here. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're probably going to pick up these Griffins and these Minotaurs, and that'll leave the sprites at home. But we'll still have 2 sets of flyers, but we're going to have these really nice Minotaur Kings. And that'll be kind of where we go from there. Let's have Airy, just make sure there's 5 extra there. Let's see if let's just pick up another 2,000 gold. And that'll just help make things even easier for us. Minotaurs first, and then the rest will be in Centaurs. Okay. Let's set off. Week 3. We've got 4 weeks to do this. Okay. This will be a glorious victory. Let's just see if we can do anything extra here. I doubt it, but it's worth a shot. No real spells to speak of at this time. Unfortunately, all the war trolls are going to go before my griffins get to go down the battlefield. A haste would have been terrific. I'm guessing that these centaurs are going to bear the brunt of the war trolls' ire. So by stone skinning them now, potentially I'm inviting them to attack somewhere else. Who else? I don't really know. I don't really care. I'm actually okay with losing griffins over huge stacks of centaurs. That was a weird little one-off there, but we'll take it. Maybe I can kill 2 war trolls? I do. Excellent. Alrighty. Yeah, and these swordsmen are just kind of slowing us down, but that's just fine. They're doing the best they can. These, well, there's a slim chance I could actually kill 1 war troll. Otherwise, these gargoyles are just here to stop the enemy from attacking. Let's wait. And then let's see, 6 hit points left, 15 hit points left, 5 hit points left. Let's maybe kill 2 to 3 of these war trolls. We killed 2. Not too bad. Not too bad. 5 hit points left. 15 hit points left. Does it matter? Nope. Does not matter. Unless I get good morale, which I do. Hey, that's excellent. Alrighty. And the battle is won from here. We're just going to hit Q. So yeah, the losses were about the same as I thought they'd be before. This expert pathfinding, though, is gigantic. Because Desert has a normal penalty terrain for Airy right now. He's got no pathfinding. You mouse over and you right click and it indicates the penalty is 200. 200. It takes twice as much movement points in Desert. That goes completely away when you get the expert pathfinding. Otherwise, you reduce it down to 50%. And so even THUNDAX with advanced pathfinding would be only moving, 50% as far. The penalty is still going to be 150 for him. So very nice to see that, that expert pathfinding. That's a great time for it to kick in. A nomad trader seeks protection from a tribe of goblins. For your assistance, he gives you a finely crafted pair of boots made from the softest leather. Looking closely, you see fascinating ancient carvings engraved on the leather. That's going to be additional movement. I think that's 300 additional movement. So 1920 with the logistics, with the pathfinding, with the boots. THUNDAX was the right choice from the beginning. I just couldn't see it until now. Airy might as well get these treasure chests. He's just going to take the gold. I was thinking about saving those for THUNDAX. I'm not thinking about that anymore. He'll pick up all these treasure chests. And the logistics. Wonderful. Wonderful. Do I need some ore? I can't really say. It looks like there's nothing else hidden kind of in the shadow of those hills, though. I don't know if that's even worth the fight. The sulfur is absolutely worth my time, but I don't think that the wood and the ore is. Let's pick up the marketplace. I know that we have the trading post right outside, but just in case I don't have a hero that is in range to actually interact with that, it'll be nice to not have to worry about trading when I need to trade. We're just going to keep the gargoyles back, hit the letter Q, and then we take no losses. Basically, that was just a case of the gargoyles being too fast for their own good, and so long as we can keep the gargoyles from flying to their death, we should be just fine. Advanced leadership. THUNDAX is turning into an excellent hero. Wow. This feels so good. I feel so powerful. My army is small, but I feel so dynamic as a hero. I don't feel powerful. 9 attack skill is nothing to sneeze at. But with a lower defense, I don't feel powerful. And yet, because of all this here, this is maybe one of the best adventuring heroes you could ever hope for. THUNDAX looks like he was grown in a lab. He looks like DRAGO from Rocky 4, like created in a lab. That is THUNDAX for you. If I was trying to make a perfect Heroes of Might and Magic 2 hero, right now it would be THUNDAX. You notice some runes hastily scrawled into a rock by your feet. They look like the initials of Uncle Ivan. I too like to walk around and carve my initials into random things. I don't get it. I don't get it, but I'm all for it, man. I'm here. I'm here for it. Okay, it's day 4. You have to have the swamp to get the green tower. We're going to end up trading for 3 sulfur. We're going to trade for 3 sulfur. We got plenty of mercury. We got 2 ore mines. So we're going to be trading in the trading post. Is there any reason to stay here overnight? I don't think so. But there's nothing else really for Ari to get. Ari's job now is going to be just to stay here. Interesting thing to note now. Pyramid, pyramid, pyramid. What does the pyramid do? Upon defeating the Guardians, the pyramid will allow your hero to learn a 5th level spell if you have a spell book, and if you have the appropriate level of wisdom to actually learn that spell. So if you have expert wisdom, this pyramid can be a huge opportunity for you. A drawback to having THUNDAX? Absolutely. But maybe we'll find a witch's hut or something nice. Maybe I can have my cake and eat it too. Okay. More halflings. Let's see. Does it really matter which way I go here? Guess I'll go this way. I think I can avoid losing 1 centaur. Or excuse me, 1 gargoyle. I'm just going to stone skin. And then from there, we'll see what happens. Oh. Perfect. And I'm just going to hit Q. Take no losses. Yeah, it cost me 3 spell points. I don't know what else I'm going to spend my spell points on. This will be my 2nd alchemist lab here. So I don't love seeing this one. I'd prefer to see something else, but we'll take what we can get. And then for these mummies, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Mummies are a troop that I always, every single time, almost without fail, underestimate. I look at them, I think, oh yeah, it's just some mummies, not a big deal. And then they get across the battlefield and I have to deal with them and they just put a wall upon me. Like, they hurt. They absolutely hurt if you let them. This is actually a bad thing here. The swordsmen need to move back so the Minotaur Kings can attack if they want to. Otherwise, this is another gripe of mine. When the enemy tries to stay just outside of your reach, yeah, there's times when that makes perfect sense. There was a scenario recently where we had a whole flock of wolves, and the wolves were able to very effectively use their 6 speed to stay just outside of our range and then to pounce upon my troops, and they just ate them right up, just devoured them. I lost that fight. I lost Sabu. It was very embarrassing, very sad. But when that's not the case, when you have a 4-speed creature and I've got 4-speed creatures, the net gain is 0. Like, you're just going to end up staying just outside of attacking range on me while my centaurs shoot you down. I'm fine with that as the player. I am very okay with that. I just don't think that tactically you should be happy with that decision. From here, I do think that the battle is once again won. I've lost a griffin. We saved some troops all the same. Okay. I see these gargoyles. I'm wondering if there's something just hidden in the shadows. I don't know. We will take some time later to find out. Stables. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Let's trade for that sulfur now, as we've talked about. 1, 2, 3. Even if, let me think. We're going to have plenty of sulfur. Or plenty of ore. And the swamp does not require ore. That was what that face was. I was trying to calculate. I was trying to remember. Do the hydras, does the swamp require ore to build or not? And I remembered correctly. I did remember correctly. Stables. I've read this plenty of times. They will give me a fine war horse. It'll only last me 2 turns, though. I'm going to need to come back for it. Lots of little choices. Lots of little glens here. Battle dwarfs. Huge cache of resources. They're just free experience at this point. And because we've got the logistics, we are absolutely cruising through this map. Airy is probably not going to be able to catch up. Yeah, Airy is probably not going to be able to catch up. Should we try anyway, though? I think that Airy can actually take out these Minotaur Kings, these ghosts. Yeah, I think that we have some use for Airy. It's just not in the way that I originally thought that I'd be using him. Even now, it doesn't feel like it's useful really to have this second hero up here, because I've got 2,500 movement points a day. It doesn't even feel useful. Okay, very nice to see our second town, especially right before the beginning of a new week. I'm all for it. This is not an insignificant army, especially when you look at my troops, but I have so much more attack that anything I do to hurt these guys is going to go a long, long way. I've got 2 stone skins. These gargoyles, where are they going to attack? How about I just use my gargoyles? 1, 2, 3, 4. How about I stone skin my gargoyles, anticipating that I'm going to lose a lot of them, but just getting them across the map. Let's do that. We're going to swallow up these gargoyles. I'm going to actually fight these griffins off with my centaurs, just in case the griffins decide to go to me. I think that these gargoyles will be okay. Taken out by these swordsmen. I can take out 1 to 2 minotaurs or the rest of the griffins. Let's get the drop on these minotaurs. Taking some damage, absolutely. I see it, but mostly I think that we're going to take some losses no matter what I do. We can kill 1 more minotaur there. Let's do that. And then, as I've said it many times before, the battle is won. 4 and 2. We did fight that fight just a little bit better than the AI did. Let's look into the town. Wow. It may not be upgraded into a castle, but there is some nice troops here for the resupply. Was there a mage guild? There's no mage guild. But there's wonderful things here. Wonderful things. I'm going to go get the ore mine, and then I'm actually going to come back. Because I've got so much movement, I could do that. And then at the beginning of tomorrow, I'm going to resupply with all these additional troops. Okay. All right, that's a pretty good turn. And it feels bad. We're just waiting for this green tower. I will pick up the Thieves Guild now. That's one of those purchases that when you need it, you better have it. And then we're going to just hit M and buy all. Whatever gold I might have wanted to spend on troops in my hometown, I'm just not even going to think about. These swordsmen are kind of slowing me down at this point. I think that I'm best off splitting my stacks of gargoyles. I really do. This standing stone is pretty big. Having my bless last for 2 turns, it's kind of a big deal. Look at all these. Wow. Shrine of the first circle, second circle. View resources. We're not going to be able to pick up this shrine of the third circle, but everything else we can pick up. And we will. And we absolutely will. We'll pick up hydras and things of that nature in just a little bit. I'm having a little bit of fun kind of adventuring. I do, since I'm headed this way, View Heroes is going to be what's in that shrine of the third circle. View Mines. Idle. What a very strange kind of area. What a very strange area. It looks like there's not a lot of extra resources on the map. Maybe one little bit of something right there. And then as far as View Mines go, what I'm really looking for is sulfur. And the only sulfur mine on the entire map is in this corner. Tell you what, let's make a beeline for this sulfur mine. We know it's there now. We didn't before. It's just out of our view otherwise. Let's see what we can do to just head straight that way. I don't know what the terrain is going to look like, and I don't really care. THUNDAX has enough movement points that if I can get dragons, and if I can get them through not having to trade for every little bit, we'll be in an okay position. I just realized I probably should have been picking up some of these little extra goodies here. Let's do that now. It's right here. It's right here. Yay, blind. One of my absolute favorites, plus an additional point of spell power. Oh my word, that's excellent. Excellent. I'm feeling very good about this little area. This was tremendous. 1, 2, 3 watchtowers if I want orcs. Right now, I don't think I really care too much. A few green dragons. I could maybe beat a few green dragons. Well, with this army, actually, because I got the resupply, absolutely I can. Do I want to fight them at this moment? I don't think so. I don't think so. But we'll see what else is out here. Oh boy. A swarm of black dragons? I'm never going to get that cache of artifacts. That looks wonderful. It looks fantastic. I'm never going to get those artifacts. This legendary scepter, a +2 to attack, defense, knowledge, spell power. It's great. I want it. Spellbinder's hat. I want it. +1 mercury, +1,000 gold. I want them. +4 knowledge. I want it. But you're talking about a swarm of black dragons. Absolutely not. I have no intention of fighting that fight. I'll accept those losses. That seems pretty good to me. And we'll pick up the gold. You found a goblin weaponsmithy making weapons for use against humans. With a tremendous yell, you and your army descend upon their camp and drive them away. A search finds a magic ore cart that never runs out of iron. That'll be +1, not 2, but +1 to our iron ore per day. I always have to remember that. It's not the equivalent of a mine. An ore mine and a sawmill will get you 2 non-precious resources per day. Not so with those artifacts there. Okay, well, that tells me a lot. There's this barbarian time. Ivanhoe. Oh. Here's my question. Is this something? Can I go this way? Or do I have to go through a few green dragons? Is it worth it to me to go out of my way to find out? I think that this just ends. The way that this terrain kind of looks like, I don't think that this is some kind of secret path in this direction. It would make no sense to me if I could just kind of no-clip throughout the map and then just immediately show up at my Uncle Ivan's house and say, hey, how's it going? That would seem fairly anticlimactic. Month 1, week 4, we are almost to month 2. Again, if I can get dragons, I'll be feeling pretty good. This is a big fight. I know we're going to win. We all know we're going to win. If for no other reason than the strength of these Minotaur Kings is tremendous. But you can't blind. You can't disrupting ray. You could stone skin your own troops, and that's probably what we're going to end up doing. Now, I'd love to save my centaurs and block them in, but because of the flame breath attack, it's not going to matter anyway. Here's my question. Is it going to matter whether or not I send these gargoyles to go take a retaliation shot? They're going to do 24 to 36 damage, and that's it. These Minotaur Kings are my power stack. They're actually going to do some damage. Everybody else, not really. Let's stone skin the Minotaur Kings now. Again, that's going to last for 4 turns now. Thank goodness. Unfortunately, the Minotaur Kings are so fast that unless they get good morale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're not really going to be able to attack. Tell you what, I'm just going to save the gargoyles for now. Move the Minotaur Kings into this kind of middle position to where they can respond to the south or to the north as necessary. That stone skin makes me look very, very smart. I'm happy for it. There's only 10 hit points left on this green dragon. Let's see if we can take out this other green dragon. 25. They can do 79 damage there. Yeah, or they can almost kill one whole dragon over here. Griffins are a good unit. I'm always happy for my griffins. Oh, rats. 16 centaurs lost. Where's that stack of 10? Here. There goes one dragon. 79 hit points, 81, 169. Here goes one full hit point dragon. And then 79. I think once again I'm going to save the gargoyles. I'm just going to lose troops off the retaliation. And that does not feel fun. And then here goes this last green dragon. So ultimately, the losses were about as good as we could have hoped for, I think. I think that we fought that fight as good as we possibly could have. Water wheel, 1,000 gold, magic well. Very nice considering we picked up a little bit of extra knowledge. Yeah, I am feeling excellent. Look at this. We may have the opportunity to go all the way around to get into this kind of little area here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 watchtowers. There's a lot of orcs out there. And there is this hill fort down here. Huh. Interesting. I'm noticing a pattern. I'm also noticing that there's water, and then I am blocked off from this lower region. I am hoping that there's going to be stone liths. I'm guessing that we're going to end up having some stone liths here to the right. And this is an excellent use of the stone liths, by the way, in my opinion. I think this is just a nice, fun way of breaking up the map, kind of subverting your expectations in a happy, cool, fun way, where I'm not actually like mad at you. Oh, I subverted your expectations. Yeah, but you also made something that's really crappy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna have to move over to here. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. When you're able to kind of lengthen out the map, stretch it out in some fun, nifty, neat ways by utilizing those, what do you call them? Those liths. See, this last stack of wolves gets to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I can go. I think I can actually go to right here, and there's some terrain here. Why am I doing that? Well, no good reason. Now that I think about it, my griffins are going to go and attack somebody. We might kill 13 wolves. Let's give that a shot. We do. I should have stone skinned my griffins. It's never too late. It's never too late. Somebody asked me a question, and they said, wait, the wolves have a double attack, right? Yeah. Well, and the griffins have unlimited retaliations, right? Yeah. So shouldn't the griffins get to retaliate twice? And for half a second, I scratched my head and was like, hey, wait a second. Ultimately, the answer is no. Just because there's a double attack does not mean that the griffins who have the unlimited retaliations are going to get 2 retaliations. It sounds great. I love the out-of-the-box thinking. That's just not the way it works. And it's never worked that way. Doesn't matter what version of Heroes 2 you've ever played. They have all worked that way. They always have. I don't want to say always will, but they always have. I cannot reach this town. Let's just get to this traveler's tent. Oh my goodness, several hydras, but another huge cache of resources, and this will actually get us home. So this is going to be nice for our resupply. I'm glad that Aerie is not somewhere in this area saying to himself, hey, I really wish that I didn't have all my troops here. We're going to just put 1 gargoyle here just so he's got the most flexibility possible. It might even be worth my time to come out of my way, take out these phoenixes, take out these ghosts, take out the Minotaur Kings, and then come back. When you have 2,100 movement points a day, the world is your oyster. We are not, unfortunately, going to be able to trade for 20 sulfur. It's going to be another week without dragons. And that feels so bad. So bad. Can I beat a pack of hydras? You got 2 blinds. Oh yeah, you can beat a pack of hydras. No problem. No problem. I'll save the gargoyles just because somebody needs to look after these knuckleheads. They mean well, but they just fly right into their death every single time. Oh yeah, when my centaurs are doing 121 damage, feels pretty good. It's got to be that 9 attack skill kicking in. So a lot of skipping going on here. And now I think we're going to have the Minotaur Kings go out and try and do some damage. There's 1 Hydra down. There's 2 Hydras down. That might be a little bit more than I want to fight. These 2 Hydras here are not going to be able to reach unless they got the good morale. And then from here, let's just keep killing stacks. And the Minotaur Kings are not going to take any damage from these Hydras. Okay. Luck. I like luck. I see water on the map. This is the second time I've been offered navigation. Nope. I think I've got enough gold. I think that experience at this point is just the nice thing to do, nice thing to take. A traveling merchant offers you a rabbit's foot made of gleaming silver fur for safe passage. The merchant explains the charm will increase your luck in combat. And once again, the obligatory response is, it must not have been very lucky for the rabbit who owned that foot. 1,000 experience there. I think this artifact is so useless, I'm not even going to pick it up. It happened. It happened. Basic wisdom. All of a sudden, I mean, so this Shrine of the Third Circle, I don't think I really care about view heroes. This Shrine of the Third Circle, maybe it'll be good. But what that does is that I can level up, and these pyramids can be very valuable. Maybe to the point where I end up getting, say, Armageddon. Say I get a whole ton of black dragons, and then I'm able to just blast the enemy into smithereens. That could be really, really nice. Really, really nice. Month 2, week 1, day 3. I'm actually going to have Aerie pull the troops up. I know I talked about maybe having THUNDAX come out so that way he could defeat the Phoenixes, defeat the Ghosts, defeat the Minotaur Kings. I'm going to avoid doing that for now. I'm aware that there's still a time limit. I would hate to run afoul of my time and to later say, oh, I wish that I hadn't made that mistake. Until we know for sure where things are going to shake out, let's avoid putting ourselves potentially in a precarious situation. And let's have Aerie. Aerie can kind of clear out some of these other things. He can see what's in the Shrine of the Third Circle, make sure that there's nothing interesting here. Yeah, okay, let's do this. As you approach, you hear whispered mentions of the wild barbarian who passed this way months before. One of the villagers approaches you and hands you an object saying, the wild one dropped this. You must be his kin, therefore I give it to you, but beware, many in the village will not be as friendly as I. Someday, someday I really want to get not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 lucky rabbit's foot. I want every single one of those rabbit's feet. Wouldn't that be amazing if we ended up making that happen somehow? Okay. Yeah, let's take this town. No losses. You lost 1 gargoyle. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. What's the likelihood that we end up using castle troops? We have basically a month and a 3 weeks. It could matter. It could matter. If nothing else, oh, you know what I just realized? You have to do this. You know why you have to do this? I was looking for this other stone liths, and I was thinking to myself, maybe it's in here before I got distracted by that second rabbit's foot. No, no, no. You have to purchase the castle, purchase the shipyard, and then sail. Ah, that's the trick. How you get into here is still an absolute mystery to me, but I have my guesses anyway. Okay. A little bit more experience. We'll take the archery. We'll take the archery. Yeah, we'll take the archery. Okay, so this is our hero. And again, made in a lab, homegrown. When I do my tier ranking lists, I value primarily leadership and logistics. Those two are never going to go bad for you. Those are in my S tier. My A tier includes wisdom. It includes ballistics, pathfinding if there's a map that needs stuff, and then I actually have scouting ranked pretty highly personally. I really do. I think I have archery and luck as B tier skills. We don't have a single C tier or D tier secondary skill. THUNDAX was created in a lab, and he is powerful. Hear him roar. All right. We're going to purchase a boat next turn. There's not going to be any problems with that. Shipyard. And thankfully, it's not 1 turn to build the shipyard, 1 turn to build the boat. And there is no need to wait around. I think that we set sail immediately. And actually, we're probably going to end up wanting another hero on top of all of this. And that other hero is probably going to be in another boat and help ferry troops, items, whatever. This is probably going to be the only jump cut I have to get home. From this point on, there's going to be some logistical challenge in getting troops to the front. Since we're here, let's pick up the statue, let's pick up some troops. We'll at the very least get the basic dwellings, so that way we can get troops accruing. Whether we upgrade them or not, we'll make that decision later. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it. This stone liths is very interesting. That's not that stone liths. So there are 3 liths that are accounted for on this map, partially at least. 1 in there, so that's lith A. Lith B, which its partner is unknown. And then there's lith C. Okay. Interesting map. And I feel better about my decision to bring Aerie through here. There's just a lot of unknown right now. How much time is it going to take me? Have I already lost and I don't even know it? Believe it or not, the scouting is actually coming in kind of handy right here. Ooh, a Sphinx. Sphinx is good. Derelict ship. I think that the derelict ship is skeletons and zombies. The shipwreck is ghosts, so I can actually fight this derelict ship without fear of losing. The rotting hulk of a great pirate ship creaks eerily as it is pushed against the rocks. Do you want to search the ship? Actually, I think not. I think I got that backwards, and it's not worth finding out, because if I attack this ship and there's ghosts, then I absolutely lose. So I think I have that backwards. I think I have it backwards. Because there's 2. There's the derelict ship, and then there's the shipwreck ship. And one has ghosts, and one has skeletons and zombies. I don't remember which one it is. History will vindicate me either way. History will show that I was cautious enough to be smart. Whether it was the correct remembrance or not, history will show that I was smart and I was correct. See, derelict ship, shipwreck. One is one and one is the other. I don't know which is which, and I'm not going to wait to find out. Should we land immediately? I say that we stay. We'll be sad if there's something over here to get and we just didn't get it. Let's get. We'll come and land here next turn. We'll land next turn. Meanwhile, Aerie has just picked up 83 orcs. Aerie is doing pretty okay for himself. Okay, let's make sure we can land. Oh no, we can't land. I went too far out of my way. Okay. I could land here, but for what? Yeah, I might as well land up here in the desert. Darn. Okay. Hey, I still feel vindicated. No problems. No problems. Okay. That's going to be Paladin growth +1 for the new week. That is month 2, week 2. Starting to feel just a little bit tight here, folks. Little bit tight. Watchtower. 126 orcs. Sulfur, finally. Gold. Always welcome to see. Gems. Very happy for it. We have not picked up crystal, have we? No, we have. We've now got one of each of the precious resources. That bodes very, very well for us, especially since we still have so much time to purchase mage guilds and things like that. And because we're able to trade for sulfur as needed, I think that we're going to be in a pretty okay position. I keep forgetting to purchase troops here. It's a very low investment. I don't think I'm going to have any problems with that. Lots of skeletons guarding one treasure chest. I don't think that's even worth my time at this point. At this point, I don't know. I don't know. How important are these gargoyles going to be? I just don't know. They could be very important. They could be not important at all. We're not going to know until later. And so let's just not risk it. I will start to attack these nomads. You gotta fight everybody at some point. Ooh, very nice. And then because of that, I think that we just run across the battlefield and we've made sure that we've nullified the first strike capabilities of our enemies. There's no further issues there. Let's get this Hut of the Magi now. We enter the rickety hut and talk to the magician who lives there. He tells us of places near and far which may aid us in our journeys. So, yep, we saw that on the way in there. These stone liths go to here, And then those ones go to the mainland? It's got to be. It's got to be. Here's this hill fort. That's going to be important. Let me actually go out of my way just to pick up this this well, and then whatever these wolves are guarding first, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, 154 orc chieftains is probably going to make it into my army. It's probably going to make it into my army. Because while the centaurs are a great troop, orc chieftains are just so efficient. I mean, they're a level 2 creature. They're very slow still, sure. But between orcs and orc chieftains, the upgrade is massive, first of all. The good morale on these centaurs is coming in clutch, by the way. Have you noticed? I've noticed. And then otherwise, I think that they're going to be a great replacement for the centaurs, and we're going to have the blood morale anyway. We're going to have excellent morale. I don't think I would consider taking halflings and sprites, even though I see them all around here. I just don't see a horde of troops being better than some of my upper tier creatures. I mean, at some point you got to ask yourself, well, who do you leave behind? Griffins? Do you leave behind 50 griffins for 150 sprites? I think no. I think no. So, I mean, troop composition in these kind of long, drawn-out battles, these long scenarios, are always interesting because it's hard sometimes to really feel like you can be comfortable with the calculations now, but as much as possible, you need to make those calculations now so that you can do the right thing when the time comes. It's hard to say. It's hard to say at times. I'm literally going to fly these gargoyles here just so they can prevent these Minotaur Kings from maybe losing one. That was their whole job. And so I for sure lost one gargoyle when it maybe saved me one Minotaur King. The butler admits you to see the master of the house. He trains you in the 4 skills a hero should know. That's 1 attack, 1 defense, 1 spell power, 1 knowledge. The spell power and the knowledge are pretty big. It's kind of a big deal. Worth noting, I've mentioned in the past that barbarians favor attack skill. It's like a 60-70% chance to get attack skill when you level up. That goes away at level 9. It equalizes much more. It's still, you're still geared towards it. I think it's like a 40% chance to get attack, and then like 30% chance to get defense at that point. But then you go from a 5% chance for spell power or knowledge up to like 10 or 15%. So now we're starting to fill out our spell power and knowledge a little bit, and it feels pretty nice. Glorious victory. Wow, this is actually a lot of Cyclops. Look at that. 10, 9, yeah, that's 28. That's, I mean, it looks like we're not going to have any problems, especially not when we start to blind them. Which, how cruel is that? We have one eye already, and now these poor Cyclops are like, oh no. What do we do? We're blind. With our one eye. I'm not incredibly well versed on my Greek. Let's see. What would you call it? Oh, you know exactly what I'm trying to say. Myth feels like the wrong word. History is the wrong word too. But with the gods and the pantheon and all the you know, all the old gods kind of a deal. It's just very interesting to me how that can all work out. That was hilarious. I did not mean to do that, by the way. I did not mean for these Cyclops to attack these gargoyles and then paralyze their friends. That was not my intention, but I will take it, absolutely. And I'm actually going to attack that big group of Cyclops simply because they are paralyzed, and so I'm going to do, I'm going to take no retaliation from them. That's the difference between the blind and the retaliation. The blind, they will retaliate with half strength. The paralyzed, they will retaliate not at all. Snagged on a thorny bush, you discover a scrap of cloth. The design on it looks like the coat of arms of Ivan's house. Is Ivan the one leaving me these guardians I'm having to go through? Did he tell these Cyclops, hey, stick around, make sure nobody follows me? If so, not very nice. Not very nice. Gotta get the well. I really don't think I'm going to end up using troops from the castle, now that I think about it. It's going to be way too much of an investment for not too much. Alongside the remains of a burnt witch lies a beautiful brooch, intricately designed. Approaching the corpse with caution, you add the brooch to your inventory. That's +3 spell power. Huge. Take the additional luck, take the additional experience, take the additional treasure chest here, and we are continue to roll through. I know that we are a little bit low on spell points, 19 out of 40, but we're going to carry on. I'm not even going to attack these greater druids. There's no point, as far as I can tell. I just don't see any point. Someone notices a piece of parchment lying behind a clump of grass. You pick it up. It looks to be a page from a journal, and it reads, "Made it past the first guardians. Hopefully we'll reach the ancient desert city soon. Only hope my forces are strong enough to survive." A treasure chest and temple. Yeah, it's not worth it to go through those greater druids. Okay, let's see. There was nothing there the whole time. I've been worried. I've been so worried that maybe there was something there that I should have picked up, and I just didn't. Since I'm here, though, I might as well wait 1 week, and then I'll take all the troops out of this town and move to the front. As it stands, though, while I'm thinking about it, let's get Sabu, the barbarian, now. Let's have him pick up 1 gargoyle. And it's going to be Sabu's job to slowly make his way there as well. He's going to be the last person to move troops from here, Gorgomar, to here. And I'll probably do that with 1 week to go. We currently have 3 sulfur. I'm getting dragons this week. It's going to be very expensive, and I don't care. The unicorns want to run. Do I want to pursue them? I think no. I think unicorns can absolutely turn a fight on their head. I don't think it's worth it to me to find out if I'm tougher or not. With my main hero, do I visit the Sphinx? The answer is no. I just can't. I cannot justify it. 1 genie lamp, 2 genie lamps. There's 2 genie lamps, 3 genie lamps. Nomads. I think that our goal right now is not to figure out what to bring on or what not to. It's to get experience, or excuse me, to get information. Let's fly through here and just see what else is around here. I think that we can fight our way through all these phoenixes without issue. Without issue. Let's see how much sulfur. There's a bunch. There's a bunch more. And before we do anything else, let's just pick up our green tower. I might have been able to do that 1 week prior. I don't feel terrible about waiting to find out. I don't feel terrible about that. And really, I think I may be able to wait until I can get black dragons before I set out. Red dragons might be a little bit much to ask for. I don't think I can do better than this. I think that this is about as good as I can do. Let's see if we can fight that better. It looks like there's going to be lots of opportunities to fight phoenixes. Lots of opportunities. Yeah, phoenixes are so fast, you can't really mitigate the damage. I guess they're going to attack, and then I'm just going to overwhelm them from here on out, I suppose. 42 hit points, 30-something. Let's kill 1 there. Let's kill 2 here. Let's definitely kill 2 there. And then we're going to skip on these gargoyles here and finish the fight that way. Yeah, I guess we saved a couple of gargoyles. Okay. Oasis. A drink at the Oasis fills our troops with strength. It lifts our spirits. We can travel a bit further today. Here is Ivan's home. There's no point in getting these pyramids because, well, we don't have the ability to pick that up. We're gonna do something. I think I can maybe win this map. I think I can win this map now. I don't think I'm gonna have to wait for dragons. I don't think I'm gonna have to wait for resupply. Because genies are awesome. And there are so many genie lamps here. I think we pick up all these genie lamps and then we end this thing today. I say today, and then I mean, like, not really today, but tomorrow. But anyway, there's 6 genies. There are remnants of a mighty battle fought here not too long ago. It looks as if whoever came this way may have made this their final stop. Huh. You stumble upon a dented and tarnished lamp. Yes, I'm picking up all these genies. There's still lamp here, so let's make our way that way. We've already visited the Oasis, not much we can do there. Let us still pull... Well, Sabu's job is just to get up to the front. Just to this spot that Ares at. Let's purchase all these troops. Send them down. These swordsmen did well, but they are retired. And then I suppose Ares can go through... I don't know how many more orcs he's going to have accumulated in such a short amount of time. Maybe we just have him jump in the boat as quickly as possible, try to resupply, and let's just not even wait on it. Because really, I think we've got an opportunity to just blow the doors off this map. If I can avoid losing genies, I'd like to. But they're gonna draw attention all the time. I should have. Now that I think about it, what I should have done is I should have cleared out all the phoenixes because they are the fastest troops on the battlefield, and then I should have purchased all the genies. Otherwise, I'm going to lose 2-3 genies every single time I fight these phoenixes, and that's just gonna happen. 10 hit points there, full damage there. I might as well. Let's see. Can I kill one full phoenix here? I can. Let's kill one there. 2 here. Yeah, I am going to lose more genies than I would like to, and having a huge power stack of genies can be very nice. Very nice. One thing we haven't done, and we might not do here either, is you can potentially send a secondary hero into massive enemy troops with just a couple of stacks of genies, and the genies can use their 10% chance to try and have the stacks. This pack of bone dragons, for example, I could have Airy try to attack the bone dragons with 5 stacks of 1 genie and just get away with murder. We're going to lose the fight ultimately. It'll be a one-time trip, but you can erase hundreds of gold worth of creatures very, very quickly. These several phoenixes, again, we're going to lose some genies. I'm going to take those losses. 1 genie looks great to me. I'm not going to question it. Oh, 1 more genie lamp, and then we are going to have to go through these bone dragons. I don't think, though, that I'm actually going to need to be that cautious. I feel powerful. I feel strong. And unlike in some scenarios where if you lose your main hero, you just lose, if we need to run, we can do that. We can rehire THUNDAX with no problem, and we still have plenty of time because we have first day of the 4th month. Yeah, I think that we're in great shape. I think we're in great shape. How do you get to this little cache of resources? I do not know. It vexes me so. Wait, because yeah, this stone list took us to here. This one took us to here. You know what? Maybe one of these liths actually goes to 2 different places. It's quite possible. That does happen occasionally. Huh. I'm just checking to make sure there was nothing hidden there. Oops. I play in windowed mode, and so occasionally I overclick. Let's pick up the Oasis. That'll be a little bit more movement points, but more importantly, the morale. It's just really nice to know that we have max morale. And let's fight this fight. Pack of Bone Dragons is not nothing, but THUNDAX is tough. He is tough. So let's take this fight. Maybe we need not even lose 3 genies. We will find out. We'll find out. Not a lot of spells to speak of, especially nothing really against these bone dragons. We might as well get the first shot off, and I don't care if I lose some of these gargoyles. I just want to take out 1 full pack of bone dragons. We killed 1 there. Minotaurs, if they get good morale, we're in great shape. We do not. No problems here, no problems there. 1 genie goes down. Probably, oh, very nice. Probably 1 more genie's gonna go down. Unless these griffins can kill 3, they cannot. Yep, 1 more genie goes down. 2 more genies. Oh dear. Okay. So I was wrong there. We might kill 1 bone dragon here. We do not. We'll definitely kill 2 here. And then that's this fight. So yeah, 3 genies were going down one way or the other. We'll take the ballistics. I know that this town for Crazy Uncle Ivan is just a town. It's not actually a castle. But okay. Ballistics all the same. I am more scared of a pack of genies than I am bone dragons. This might be the kind of final test. If you had waited until the very end and you just come at the enemy with stacks of dragons, this could be your retribution. This could be the failsafe to make sure that you just don't walk all over this map. I'm expecting tremendous losses, but I'm going to fight this fight now just so I can see what else is in here, and we'll go from there. I'm going to accept these losses. 1 gargoyle, 4 genies, because if I fight the fight differently, I literally might get bad luck, and I might lose a whole half stack of creatures. That did not happen here. I'm not going to question it. I don't feel like a bad person for not showing you that fight. When you got the good luck, you take the good luck. You don't ask questions. I'm not going to ask questions anyway. Maybe you ask questions, and maybe that's why you're a better individual than I am. Maybe you're more inquisitive. Maybe you ask the hard questions. You say, why does it have to be this way? Why is it that way? Bone dragons, genies, throng of ghosts. Rescue your crazy Uncle Ivan. He's got to be there. It doesn't specifically say it in the scenario information, but that's got to be where he's at. There's just no other way for it. This is where we actually skip out now. Now we go back. Now we quit the field and we work on getting dragons, because all these low-level creatures, centaurs, they are useless at this point on. Well, I shouldn't say useless. I could maybe have them on a secondary hero. A secondary hero could have all these low-level creatures to actually win this fight against Ivan, but this looks like nothing much. That does not look like that's going to be pretty tough. It's the throng of ghosts, and that's your last major obstacle. And so since we know that, actually, I think that once again, we trade for some troops. Specifically, we trade sulfur so we can get red dragons. We'll trade this much. And, oh, there's no amount of mercury I need. I'm not going to get another level of Mage Guild. There's no amount of crystal I'm going to need. I'm definitely not going to need any more of these gems. Yeah, I think that we just trade everything across the board. We're going to need a little bit of ore, I think. Yeah, a little bit of ore. But we're going to just make sure that we get our black dragons soon. And then right now it's 4. We're going to wait basically 1 more week. And then we're going to send off with about 6 black dragons. A throng of ghosts is a lot of ghosts. But that means that these nomads, that means that these skeletons, that means that these sprites, these halflings, if that's what your army was made out of, you would be in a real bad way right now. Real bad way. We're going to stay here with Carlon. That's her job. Sabu will stay there, and then we'll sleep him. And then Eri does need to get to his boat. THUNDAX will go and kill these rocks, because maybe he will get enough experience to get him up to level 5, and then, or excuse me, not level 5, he'll get to Expert Mysticism. He will get to Expert Wisdom. And then once he gets the Expert Wisdom, then we can potentially take out all of those other pyramids, and maybe get some 5th level spells on him. THUNDAX should be looking pretty good. Pretty good indeed. We might even... We're probably going to send him back to get this magic well. We're going to have plenty of time. We're going to have plenty of time. Let's go here. Sabu is now slept. Carlon is going to wait 1 more turn. Eri's going to hop into the boat now, because Eri's got these Orc Chieftains. Are the Orc Chieftains going to beat throngs of ghosts? No. But at least I'm going to have 154 of these Orc Chieftains after, just to make sure that I can clean up that other fight. Okay. Black Tower still leaves us with 17 sulfur. That's plenty. We'll get these 7 black dragons. I thought I would have to stay here to trade with Carlon. I do not. Let's get rid of all of her troops I hate. Very harsh. I know. But we're going to get rid of all those, and then we're going to purchase, in order of value, Hydras, because I have so many hit points, then Minotaur Kings. I don't think we'd take Griffins or Gargoyles for this final fight. I think we just kind of rely on this. I really do. And so then Carlon, quickest way she can get there is here. Sabu is going to wake up, and we're going to send out these Minotaur Kings. We're going to wait. It's just not worth the trouble at the moment. He's back asleep. And then Carlon is actually pretty close. She can meet up with Eri, and we can figure out how quickly we are able to end this fight. We'll take those losses and then just take up all this experience. We need a lot of experience to get to our next level, and we need 2 levels to get from basic wisdom up to expert. There's 1 level. How much more do we need? We need a ton. 12k? It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. And then... yeah, we need 7,000 more. 7,000 more. Well, we might as well fight the Phoenixes then. Well, should we? Several Phoenixes for like 4,500 experience? Where else can we get experience? That's pretty much it. Because we're not going to go all the way back here. No. Zounds of black dragons. Let me say it again. No. We're not going to do that. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I think that we're going to fall short. I might have a secondary hero try this Sphinx, and if I like the riddle, if I know I can guess the riddle correctly, I may sacrifice that secondary hero. Just let them die, so that way THUNDAX can get the really nice reward, whatever it is. Month 2, week 4, day 3. Let's move over all these troops. Let's move these troops back. Seven black dragons is not that much. It's really not. It's not that much. Carlon is actually going to get into the boat, and she has no idea what's going to happen. First of all, she's going to go and get that Sphinx for me, and second of all, if she survives that for whatever reason, then she is actually going to be the one to get eaten by this throng of ghosts. That means that right now, Sabu is my... Actually, it's not going to be Sabu. It's going to be Thalagar is going to be my other hero, who is going to jump in the boat, and he's probably going to step on those ghosts, sacrifice a couple of gargoyles, 1 or 2 gargoyles, and then he's going to figure out exactly how many is a throng. Exactly how many is that? Okay. Okay, quick little aside. We're here at this Sphinx, and what's on the line? Carlon the Sorceress with 1 centaur. Let's just see what the riddle is. This is always interesting to me. You come across a giant Sphinx. The Sphinx remains strangely quiet. What? What? That's not how that works. Okay, so we did just pick up the expert expert wisdom. I almost said mysticism again. We picked up the expert wisdom, and so we're actually going to end up taking up these pyramids. How valuable will it be? I don't know, but there's always a possibility, so we will give it a shot, and we still have plenty of time. We're not going to have enough time to resupply with any more troops. This is what we have. What you see is what we get, and there's not much else I can really say on the matter. This is this point. Time to just sleep airy. Thalagar will follow up THUNDAX, but otherwise THUNDAX is heading back towards those pyramids over here. There's 4 chances to get some really nice spells. What they will be, I cannot say. I do not know. All right, so let's just keep on keeping on. There's that. And we are going to end up sacrificing Carlon to the ghosts, again, just to see what exactly are we up against. What are we dealing with here? That 1 centaur is going to be, unfortunately, a foe that we end up fighting very, very quickly. So this first pyramid, we come upon the pyramid of a great and ancient king. We are tempted to search it for treasure, but all the old stories warn of fearful curses and undead guardians. Will we search? Yes, we will. No problems there. Resurrect true. Question. You're fighting ghosts, right? I'm fighting ghosts, and whenever one of my troops goes down, the ghosts get 1 more in their number. Can I then resurrect true my stack of creatures that died, but their soul is now part of the ghosts? How does that work? We might just have to try that just to see. Huh. That's very interesting. I'm excited to see. I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. Or maybe you already know and you're just not telling me. That's okay too. Once again, no losses here. Town Portal. I said I wouldn't use Town Portal, and I mean it. I said I wouldn't use Dimension Door, and I mean it. It's sad because that is the exact perfect spell at this point. I could teleport back in the blink of an eye and pick up an extra 6-10 black dragons before we fight this fight. But true to my word, that's part of the logistics. That's part of the issue that we're dealing with, even though it mocks me so. A couple of times. And Dimension Door. Okay. I would be jumping out of my seat if we hadn't have already put those limitations in place, but we put the limitations for the Town Portal and the Dimension Door in place. Why? Because Town Portal and Dimension Door are so strong that they can absolutely break a map. Break a map how? Well, it's not interesting to simply roll the dice and see, hey, am I going to get this super awesome spell in my Mage Guild or not? If that's all you're going to try and do, then, I mean, you just lose so much of the value that you could find in playing Heroes Might and Magic 2. And so we don't use Dimension Door, we don't use Town Portal. The caveat is if we see the enemy using either of those two spells, then the gloves are off. But until that time, we don't worry about it. Very interesting here, though. So, 5 stacks of 33 ghosts. 1 stack has 35 now. Okay. But I can take that. I can take this army. With what I currently have right now, I think I can take this army. I think I can take this fight. I think I can take this fight. So THUNDAX is going to fight this in just 1 second. In the event that something really bad happens, and say it's like close and like we lose somehow, Balagar will have enough troops that he can follow up. These ghosts are not going to overwhelm me and, oh, it's going to be too big of an army to take. No, we're absolutely going to fight this fight down to not much left. I guess that the question is can we still beat it? I think so. Let's find out. What does the AI say? Apparently I was worried for nothing. Let's fight this fight all the same, because this really is the game right here. This is the game. A lot of our disabling spells don't really work. I'm going to see if I can try and figure out if Resurrect True will work or not. Let's avoid summoning water elementals. That's just one more bit of troops that the enemy can use against me. Again, let's save that Resurrect True. And let's just do what makes the most sense and fight our way across this battlefield as quickly as possible. Okay, so there is going to be our opportunity. We've lost we've lost a couple of Minotaur Kings. Can we Resurrect True? Yes, we can. Their stacks of creatures have still eaten the souls of those Minotaur Kings, but now the Minotaur Kings are back, baby. And they are just hulking wrecks of their former selves, and that's okay. They are just these lifeless automatons. They are made of clay. You look into their eyes, and it is soulless. But that is a weird interaction. That's such a weird interaction that the ghosts' numbers can increase by killing our creatures, and yet we can Resurrect True our creatures all the same. Very interesting. Folks, that looks to be this scenario. We are still going to fight this fight all the same because this is the home of Uncle Ivan. We will ultimately complete this scenario by month 3, week 2, day 5. I think that that's a good score. I think that that's an okay score anyway. Things that worked really well for us. We had so much movement points this game. If we had used Aerie as our primary hero, if we had stuck to that poor decision in the very beginning, we would have been in absolute dire straits because there is so much value we got out of the logistics and the pathfinding. So much of this map was desert that pathfinding was absolutely critical. No questions asked. So having the correct hero for the job, that made all the difference, number 1. Number 2, it's amazing what just a couple of black dragons, a couple of tier 6 creatures can do for your army. And really, whether it's titans or black dragons, those are really the pinnacle of the best possible troops you can get. And so even just a small number of those made that fight against the ghosts not a problem. There was really no issue there. We avoided some of those small creature dwellings. We could have used those probably to greater effect to deal with all the creatures that we dealt with up to that point. The pack of wolves here and the couple of greater druids there, things like that. But ultimately, we stuck to our major fighting force. I mean, we ended with 57 Minotaur Kings. That's pretty good. So higher tier creatures worked out well for us. Not a lot of spells, but we had a couple of meaningful spells. Oh, and right here, this was always a trap. You don't get any extra points for beating a swarm of black dragons. You get 0 bonus points. So we stayed focused. We fought our way through the appropriate way. Oh, and we avoided a derelict ship and a shipwreck where we might have lost to ghosts. So we used a little bit of discretion, and we ultimately have come out on top. Folks, that should be the scenario. You have captured Ivan home. You are victorious. We will go on to scenario 5, the Southern War, next time. But now we are going to have the award of having Uncle Ivan. I'm going to right click here just to see what it is. Uncle Ivan can be hired in this scenario. Apparently he's going to be a terrific hero for us. That is a price of loyalty exclusive portrait. That is Uncle Ivan. We've spent 150 days so far. That was potentially a big time sink. That was potentially an opportunity for us to lose a lot of time. I'm glad that we did not. Until next time though, take care of you. Take care of your family, take care of your friends, make sure that you are well. And if you're not well, what can you do to fix that? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all the time that people spend watching. I appreciate people overseas. I appreciate people here in my home country, wherever you are near and far. Thank you so much for loving this great game. I'm grateful that I get to be here with you. Thank you so very, very much. My name is Fix Fox, and I am out.